In this video, I'm going to show you how I've updated my voice AI agent to make outbound calls so that we can fully automate outreach, follow-ups, and scheduling without lifting a finger. This is a continuation of my previous video where I shared how to create a voice AI agent for 5 cents a minute using Ultravox, N8N, and Twilio. The agent is now able to automatically run through a list of contacts and call each one to schedule an appointment. I have also added the hangout functionality to end the call because that was missing from the previous version. I'll first show you guys a full demo of the agent in action, but make sure you stick to the end because I'll be giving a full breakdown of the complete system, showing the updated code and also how to use Ngrok to test the agent locally. But first things first, let's see a quick demo of the agent. First, I just want to quickly show you that the logs are currently empty before the call. So to start off, we have to just run this N8N workflow and the agent will call me. So this is an outbound call. I should receive one real soon. There we go. Let me just put it on loudspeaker.
Hello, Ahmed. My name is Sarah and I'm calling from Agenix AI Solutions. I'm reaching out to discuss how our AI solutions can help your business. Before we proceed, I'd like to schedule a call with you at your convenience. Can you please tell me what time works best for you?
Can we do it later on today at 6 p.m?
6 p.m. today sounds great, Ahmed. Before I confirm the meeting, can you please tell me your email address so I can send you a meeting invite?
My email address is ahmed@agenix.com.
Thanks, Ahmed. So, just to recap, I have your name, Ahmed@agenix.com, and you'd like to schedule a meeting for today at 6 p.m. Now, can you please tell me which location would you prefer for the meeting? We have offices in London, Manchester, or Brighton.
Can we do it at the London office, please?
The London office it is, Ahmed. I'll go ahead and check the availability. Your meeting is all set, Ahmed. I've confirmed your appointment at the London office for today at 6 p.m. We'll see you then. Is there anything else I can help you with before we wrap up?
No, that'll be all. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And it also hangs up the call at the end. So we should also get the summary. So the agent Sarah from Agenix AI Solution reached out to Ahmed to discuss their AI solutions to assist them with their business. They scheduled a meeting for today at 6 p.m. in the London office and confirmed the email address. Amazing. So we got the summary. We managed to get the transcript at the end of the call. And it was all triggered via this N8N workflow. So let's look at the full system diagram and see the things that we've added to make it happen. So here we have the previous 2.0 version of the voice AI agent setup. However, now we have the new and improved 3.0 version, and all the things you see in green are the new components that we've added. And if we start on the right hand side here, we have the new workflow that I've just shown you guys, the N8N workflow that kicks off the outbound call. And this is a simple Google Sheets, and I can quickly show you what that actually looks like. So on another tab here, we have the call list. And this is a very simple list of the phone numbers and names for different people that you want to call. You can also add different fields here and dynamically pass them to the agent to customize the conversation. So inside of the N8N workflow, we have the HTTP request, and this is a post request to our Ngrok URL. For testing purposes, we put the Ngrok URL here. However, when it's deployed, this could be our railway URL. And at the end, we have the outgoing call endpoint. And at the body is where we put the first message to send to the agent. And this is how we pass different dynamic variables. So here I've passed it just the name for the sake of the demo, but we can add any other variables that we want to tell the agent to personalize the conversation. So going back to the system diagram, so this goes off and calls our new endpoint inside of our FastAPI Python backend. And this is a very simple function that basically triggers a new Twilio call and also tells it the media stream, again, similar to how we were doing it with the incoming call, where we just tell the Twilio, this is the media stream URL for the data communication between Twilio and Ultravox. And it goes ahead and makes that outbound call to the phone number that we've supplied it with. And everything else has been kept the same. So we now have one FastAPI backend that handles both outgoing calls and incoming calls. So let's jump on and see what we added inside of the code. So I actually made sure not to commit the changes so that we're able to easily see the things that were changed and added to make this possible. So from the start, we can see that I've added 3 different new environment variables for the Twilio setup. Because this time we're doing an outbound call, the setup is slightly different. So we need these 3 environment variables to make that happen. And we can get those from the Twilio console. So just log into your Twilio, and if you click account dashboard, you might see something different here at the top, but you just have to scroll down inside of the account info section and you'll see the account SID, the auth token, and the Twilio number. So just copy those exactly as they are and paste them inside of your environment variables. So I've just added this here in the example. And moving on, we can come down. We now have, so the incoming call endpoint is basically the same, hasn't been touched. But now we have a new endpoint for the outgoing calls. So all we're doing is just extracting that data. So we get the phone number and the first message. Then we initialize the Twilio client via the account information that we've added. And then we create the call using this section here. You can see we pass it the stream URL, the first message, and the phone number. And also make sure to include these two variables at the bottom to get the call statuses. And I'll show you the function that actually runs this in just a second. So that goes ahead and creates the call and returns success to our N8N workflow. Then that goes into Twilio, and Twilio will then call our media stream endpoint to start the communication channel between Ultravox and the customer. So we actually created a second endpoint for the call statuses. And it's a very simple function that grabs the status of the call from Twilio. So Twilio will actually call this endpoint and pass it the call status, duration, the timestamp, and the call SID. And this will be handy when it comes to troubleshooting any errors. And then finally, inside of our create Ultravox function, we just added a new tool for the hang up functionality. Ultravox actually already comes with a hang up functionality built in. However, that doesn't really work with this setup. So I just created my own custom tool and overwritten the existing hang up tool that they had. And I also modified the system prompt slightly to account for the outbound call. So there's certain areas where we had to sort of add a few lines to make sure it knows for outbound, this is not needed. For example, when it came to scheduling the meeting, we don't need their name because we have that already. So it's not needed for the outbound call. And also for the purpose of the meeting, this is also not necessary. So we just put discovery call as the purpose. I also added a couple lines for the hang up functionality. So I just told it when a call naturally wraps up, use the hang up tool to end the call. And I just added it here again to reiterate that at the end here. Right, so when it comes to testing the application locally before we deploy, we just have to start by running the application using this command here, and that will start up the FastAPI backend. However, there's a second step where we have to start Ngrok. So make sure you download Ngrok. And the purpose of Ngrok is to get a public URL directed to our local host so that other third-party public applications are able to communicate with our FastAPI backend. So make sure that you download Ngrok. Just put it on ChatGPT how to install Ngrok. It's very simple. It's like one command in the command line. And we start a new Ngrok server by just running this command here, Ngrok HTTP 8000, because that's the port that we've used. And this will generate a URL that you then paste inside of the environment variables and also inside of the HTTP request. Make sure that's also the same URL. But that's only when it comes to testing out the application locally. Once you've deployed the application into something like Railway, this is where you would paste your Railway URL. One thing to also keep in mind is that if you're on the free plan of Ngrok, every time you restart the server, it will generate a new URL. So make sure that you actually use the latest URL and update the environment variable and HTTP request every time you restart it. Otherwise, you can just pay for an account and it will give you a permanent URL. That'll be all for this video. I hope you have found some value in this, and I'm going to continue to build out this agent and include different features to it. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out. And if you have any ideas that you want me to try out with this Ultravox agent, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.